Let's make a key. This month, Cammy sold 70 figurines in 2 sizes. The large figurines sold for $12 each, the small one for $8 each. The amount of money he received from the sales of the large figurines was equal to the money he received for the sale of the small ones. Okay, so how many large ones did he sell? So let's say he had 20 large ones. If he sold 20 large ones, that means he sold 50 small ones. And at 20 times $12 and at 50 times $8, are those the same? 20 times 12, 50 times 8. They are not the same, so he didn't sell 20 large ones. If he sold 28 large ones at $12 a piece, and 70 take away 28 large ones is 42 small ones at $8 a piece. I wonder if those are a match. 28 and 12, 42 and 8. We have a match. He sold 28 large ones. A car accelerated from 88 feet per second to 220 feet per second in exactly 3 seconds. So that means it went 132 feet per second, the difference there in those 3 seconds. So 132 divided by 3 seconds is 44 feet per second. In a plane, the distinct lines AB and CD intersect at A. So here's AB, here's CD, they intersect at A. So we'll call that one AB, and this one CD, and they intersect at A. Where A is between C and D, the measurement of BAC is 47. My drawing's not to scale, but that's okay. What is the measurement of angle BAB right here? Well, I was taught that the two angles that make a line add up to be 180. So 180 minus 47, 133. In which of the following are arranged in ascending order? 1 divided by 2, we know that's a half. 5 divided by 6. 5 divided by 8. So we're going to go 0.5, the smallest, 0.2, that's the next one. So smallest, next to smallest, largest. So 1/2 first, 5/8 second, and 5/6 at the end. Our answer is F. With scientific notation, if you go to your mode and change your calculator from normal to scientific notation, you can do this problem with ease. 67, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 zeros, plus 700, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more zeros, 1.37. E, we're going to make that times 10 to the 9th. Our answer is D. For the trapezoid shown, the top and the bottom are parallel. And this measurement is D. We want to find A. All right, and these two angles, they'd be supplementary. They'd add up to be 180. So if X down there was 20, then this would be 160 because 180 minus 20 is 160. So if this one is X, then A would be 180 minus the X. To get a driver's license, the applicant must pass a written test and a driving test. Past records show that 80% of the applicants pass the written test, and 60% of those who have passed the written test pass the driving test. Based on these figures, how many applicants? All right, so we have 1,000 applicants, and initially only 80% passed the first test. Then we need to do 0.80 times that, and that'll be 800. And after that round, 60% pass. So what is 60% of 800? So 0.6 times 800 is 400, and oops, I'm in the wrong mode. Let me put that mode back. So 0.6 times 800 will be 480. If A, B, and C are positive integers such that AB is equal to X and C to the B is equal to Y, then what is XY? Well, if x is a to the b and y is equal to c to the b, then xy is a to the b times c to the b. And you can simplify that into a times c, both raised to the b power. And that is h. Which of the following expressions is equivalent to? So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to simplify the inside of that parentheses. 6x and 12x make 18x. The 2y and the negative y cancel. I have 1/2 y squared times 18x. So 1/2 of the 18 is 9. Do your numbers. And then I'm just going to put the letters in alphabetical order. And that is A. An artist makes a profit of dollars from selling P paintings. What is the fewest number of paintings the artist can? I'm just going to go brute force and plug in each of the numbers one at a time. So 100, I'm going to use that first. I'm going to store that as my x instead of p. So 500 minus 500p x minus the x squared. Using the 100, I get 40,000. I need 60,000. Let's do 150 this time. If I do second enter, I can bring up the past expressions. 52,000. Let's go 52,500. Let's go 200 this time. Second enter. Second enter. There's that past expression. 60,000. We need to sell more than 200. Last month, Lucy had total expenditures of 900. The pie chart breaks down these expenditures. The category in which Lucy expenditures were greatest is clothes. Is what percent of her total expenditure to the nearest percent? 1%. So we'll take 254 and we'll divide that by 900 and we'll change that to a percent. 0.282, so that is 28%. Letter B. In the figure below, shown below, the measure of BAC is x plus 20. And we have a right angle here. What is the measurement of this one? Well, that angle will be 90 minus the x plus 20. You need to make sure you group that. Change the signs because of the negative. And we can simplify the 90 minus the 20 and get 70 minus x. G is our answer. What is the perimeter in inches of the isosceles right triangle below, whose hypotenuse is 8 radical 2? Okay, there's a pattern to 45, 45, 90 triangles, which is what this one is. It's isosceles, so that means those two angles are the same. If the hypotenuse is something like a radical 2, then your legs over here are going to be that radical 2 divided by another radical 2, which gives you a 1. So if this is 8, these are, if that's an 8 radical 2, these are 8 apiece. So our perimeter is 8 plus 8 plus 8 radical 2, which will be 16 plus 8 radical 2. And that answer is E. That last question was all about the pattern. The equation is graphed in standard form for the real numbers ABC. When y is equal to 0, that's this line right here. Which of the following best describe the solution for x? Well, because it's touching the x-axis, that means you have two real solutions. And because one of them is over here, that means that one is negative, and it means this one over here is positive. So we have two real solutions, one positive and one negative. If the drawing had looked like this, then you would have had two imaginary answers. So that would be no real answers, and that would be the answer for K. If you had this, then that means both of your answers are positive. If you had this, then that means both of your answers are negative. Two answers that are not distinct, J, would mean the graph came up and touched and then fell. Your answer is H. You have one negative, one positive. What is the product of the complex number? I can do that totally on the calculator. I have my I button down below, -3 second I plus 4, parentheses, 3 second I above the decimal plus 4. And that gives me 25. Your answer is C. The radius of the base of the right circle shown is 5 inches. The height is 7 inches. Which of the following equations gives the measure theta right here? So we need to remember our SOHCAHTOA. So here's theta. 7 way over here is our opposite. 5 down here is our adjacent. This side here will be your hypotenuse. So we're not using the hypotenuse. We're going to be using the last syllable here, TOA. Tangent of the angle is equal to the opposite over the adjacent. Your answer is G. To make a 750 piece jigsaw puzzle more challenging, a company includes 5 extra pieces. So now we have 755 pieces. Along with the 750, and those 5 extra pieces do not fit anywhere in the puzzle. If you buy such a puzzle, break the seal of the box and immediately select 1. What is the probability that it will be one of the extra pieces? Well, since there's 5 of those out of 755 pieces, that's your probability right there. D. Surprised they didn't reduce that fraction. 32, what fraction lies halfway between? So what we're going to do here is we're going to average. We're going to take 2/3 and 3/4, and we're going to average. And I'm just going to use my calculator. So 2 divided by 3, add that to 3 divided by 4. So there's the top. And you can use your math button to change that to a fraction if you want. I'm going to take that answer and divide it by 2 so I can get an average. And I get 17/24. You could use your fraction button early like I did, or you could use it there at the end and get that 17/24. Our answer is K. That was probably easier than you thought. Have a nice day.